Hello, everyone. Firstly, many congratulations on being selected for the Fulbright program. I'm so happy that I'm getting an opportunity to share my experience with all of you. My name is Garima Shekhar, and I'm on the Fulbright Nehru Masters program. I am currently studying at Harvard University and doing my master's in education leadership, organization, and entrepreneurship. So I'm under the higher ed administration sector that I have actually come to the US. Currently, I'm sitting at the Kennedy School here, and this is a little background into where I am. I'm sitting in the lobby, and I thought I will make a quick video and share some of my experiences with you. Some things that may not be as obvious, and some experiences that I learned along the way, and I'd like you to not make similar mistakes. So I've made a couple of notes. To start with, the Fulbright experience is a life transforming experience, particularly for me because I was coming to the US for the first time, and there was a bit of a culture shock curve that I had to overcome. Although I knew that it's going to be a new environment, things are going to be so different, yet I wasn't prepared fully for what was going to come my way. And like any transformation, uh, some things are great, but some things are challenging. And it is those challenging moments that actually define you as who you are going to be. So I'm going to start with one. As you enter the US, there will be an orientation session that Fulbright is going to organize for you virtually. For me, the orientation happened almost a month into my sort of coming to the US. So it wasn't as much an orientation, but more like a revision. Nonetheless, I encourage you to attend the orientation sessions because they cover key issues such as how to navigate through American political system, or what is microaggression and how to understand how microaggression plays in society, and just basic do's and don'ts of living in the American culture. And that was really helpful. So I encourage you not to miss the orientation session. And then Fulbright is going to be constantly sending you updates on different aspects. There will be a portal where you'll have to upload regular documents during different tenures of your time here, including, for instance, when you conclude a semester, you'll have to upload the official transcripts of the semester you've just ended. And then when you enroll into the next semester, you'll have to put in the paperwork for that. So at regular intervals, you'll have to put in a lot of paperwork, and I encourage you to just follow the emails that they send you, the reminders that they send you, and not miss those out. So that is critical. And also try to connect with the local Fulbright community that you have. So, for instance, I'm in Boston and I connected with the Fulbright Massachusetts group, and they organized a lot of events. So, there was a welcoming concert that they had organized at Boston University. They invited me for a Thanksgiving dinner, and there were so many other occasions where I got to meet Fulbrighters outside my home institution, which is Harvard. And that is always sort of enriching because you get to meet people from different walks of life and learn about their experiences. And this reminds me of another thing, which is in the US, people plan their holidays very much in advance, 3 to 6 months in advance, and that is the norm here. Unlike in India, where I was also used to doing impromptu trips and maybe booking hotels on the go, but that would be very expensive if you do that. So normally people plan their Thanksgiving break, their winter break, their spring break way in advance. They know where they're traveling, they book tickets, and they make plans early on. So I encourage you to look at the calendar for the university that you're coming to and make sure that you sign up and plan what you're going to do in these breaks. I know it can seem a little intimidating, like I don't know the answers to all the holidays that I'm going to take in this year, but that's the mindset that everybody works with in the US, and I just encourage you to keep that in mind. Um, and then my home institution organizes a lot of treks to different countries. So if there's a particular geography that you're interested in, you'll always find a group of people interested in the same geography and wanting to explore it. So you can come together with students traveling to those places. And these treks are also planned several months in advance. So I remember even before I came to the US, it was around May, June when the India trek was being organized for December. So you see, there's been like almost a window of 6 months ahead where they start planning these things. So keep an eye out for that, and also plan your expenses accordingly, because the treks are an additional cost over and above everything else that you're paying for. So keep that in mind as you plan. And then something really interesting that I came across was that Fulbright actually organizes enrichment seminars for incoming students. Now, these enrichment seminars are not for everybody because they have limited seats. So it is more like based on who reads the email, who responds fast, and then, of course, availability. They will send that email out to you. Watch out for those emails and make sure you fill the forms on time so that you get an opportunity to attend an additional enrichment seminar by Fulbright, which is not for everybody. I repeat that again. But I was fortunate enough to get selected into the Fulbright enrichment seminar that was happening in New Orleans. And the theme of that conference was climate change. In that conference, I got to meet 124 Fulbright scholars currently in the US from 80 countries. And it was such an exhilarating experience because I could share my journey with others who were going through a similar journey in the US. So I don't want you to miss out on that opportunity, and watch out for the emails that come that way as well. And then there is something that not many people talk about, but I think it's an important time to have that conversation, which is around the culture shock that you will experience in the US. Now, I was traveling abroad to the US for the first time. I had been on vacations internationally, but those were short duration vacations, and I hadn't really spent so many months together away from home alone. And it led to certain ups and downs in my journey. So there was a culture shock curve that Fulbright recently shared in one of the webinars, which I want to share with you. It starts with you entering the US on a high with lots of expectations and lots of uh, things that you want to do, skills that you want to gain, and people you want to meet. And then as you sink into the culture, you realize that there is a dip. There are inconsistencies that you notice, as well as differences between the home culture as well as the culture in the US, and that causes a bit of an irritation. And it may actually lead to depression, which is the lowest point that you may reach. And then it tends to rise again as you're able to assimilate with the culture and then sort of make sense of it, and then you look forward to completing your degree and then actually going home. So there is a little bit of a dip that happens in just the whole cultural psychological frame of mind, and I want you to be conscious of that, because I thought I had all the tools I needed to survive. I do meditation, I practice yoga, and I have a strong support system at home that I speak to on a daily basis. I have a group of friends here, and I really thought I had the tools in my kit. But even then, I felt the isolation of the American life, and I found it difficult to navigate through. So I want you to just be mindful of this culture shock curve that happens. I hope it doesn't happen to you, but if it does, you know that you at least you're prepared with the tools that you need to overcome that as well. And then the next thing about health insurance. So you will, in all probability, have an health insurance from your university, as well as the ASPE insurance that's given by IIE to all the Fulbrighters. So you'll have two insurances. What you need to do is keep in mind the fact that have your emergency contact details saved on your phone when you arrive here. So if there is an emergency situation, you know who you need to contact, you know what number you need to call on, and you know what the process is. So touch wood, I hope you never have to use it, but in case you do, at least you have the emergency contact saved on your phone, and you have your insurance card details ready. That is a must that you should do. With regards to IIE's payment, IIE is very prompt with its payment. So based on the schedule that they shared in your contract letter, they will send the money on time. You don't have to worry about it, and you can plan your expenses accordingly. With regards to the tickets, your return tickets will be booked by USIEF and not IIE. So I generally takes care of everything that you need within the US, but the only thing they don't take care of is your return tickets. So if you're a Fulbright Nehru Master Scholar, USIEF will actually book your tickets and you can plan that in advance as well. I think those are all the things that I could remember, and I hope to stay in touch with you. I'm very active on LinkedIn, so search me by my name, Garima Shekhar. I'd love to stay in touch and follow your journey of coming to the US, and I'd love to see how you make the most of this experience. So I wish you all the best, and looking forward to see you nurture and grow in the future. See you.